Hi everyone, I'm Leticia from Imagine Snip and Glue, and today I'm going to share with you some cards and some tags that I made for tomorrow, which is Mother's Day. I know it's a bit late, but I was very busy making a whole bunch of cards and tags for a lot of people, so this was the only chance I got to record this, and since tomorrow is Mother's Day, I just salvaged the ones that I made for my family, and these are all cards that I made for my family. Only one of them I made for a friend, and I want to share them with you. First, I want to show you all the paper lines that I used. The first one is, of course, the Colorblock Rosewood, which you have seen me use like so many times, and right now I only have like 3 or 4 sheets of paper left on this. 3, 4. I only have 4 sheets of paper left on it. And I think if you saw my last video, you remember that when I went to buy a new pad, there weren't any. So I hope that when I go next time, I will be able to buy another one. I really love that paper line. Okay, I also used this one from Colorblock. Sorry about the glare. It's called Poolside Piscine. And another one from Colorblock is this one called Fresh Linen. Another one that I used from Colorblock as well is the Melon Ball. And then I used this one from Craftsmith, and it's called Dip Dyed. And I had shown you this one before. It's got all kinds of lovely paper in different shades. They got different shades in one sheet of paper, and what I like about it is that it's not paper, it's sort of like cardstock, so it's really nice. Then I also used this one, Tea Party, also from Craftsmith. I only used like about three from this one, and they're also like cardstock sheets of paper, so they're pretty thick. And the last one that I used is also from Craftsmith, and it's called Flutter Bloom, and this one is mainly butterflies and flowers. Some of them are really very colorful, and it's very pretty. But okay, these are all the papers that I used, and I'm going to make this video in 3 parts because I want to record them by, not category, let's just say I want to record the tags first, and then I want to record the other kind of cards that I made and the other type of cards that I made. In the first part, I'm going to show you the tags. I'm going to show you 2 tags and 1 regular card that I made last minute because I forgot my son's girlfriend's mom. So yeah, that was a mouthful. So I had forgotten her, and I made it last minute, so I just picked up some cardstock and put together whatever, and I had made several cards experimenting with my texture paste, but they didn't come out like I wanted them to, so I ended throwing them like in the discarded project bin, and I'm gonna start taking things from them later. I don't even want to show them to you. I'm that embarrassed about them. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is the simplest one. This is a tag that I made completely from stickers. Okay, and first of all, I used this teal kind of colored cardstock as the base, and then I added this the paper, well, actually it's cardstock as well, from the dip dyed collection, from the dip dyed paper line. And you can see that it's got yellow, light blue, and then it's like a darker blue, and it ended up in a darker blue, but I cut it so that it would show the yellow all the way to the blue, and it matches very well with the colors from the sticker. Now this sticker I had to paper piece because at first I thought it was just one whole sticker, and then it ended up to be like in parts, like you can see here, where one part ended, and then I had to cut out this part because it stayed in the sheet. So yeah, I had to cut parts of it. And that's all I did. I just, put the sticker together. I thought it was really pretty. I really like it. It's, like a very strange sticker. Then I cut out this little tag from one of the paper lines, another one, not from the dip dyed, of course. This is from the cutouts from one of the paper lines. I really don't remember which one. That's why I named all the paper lines at the beginning, because I really don't know. I just picked from one and the other and the other and the other. I was so busy making cards. And then I just put Happy Mother's Day in Spanish, and that's it. And then I just added some cording, some cords, some twine and that, and then I just put it here with a small what do you call these, clothespins. Okay, it's a small clothespin. Then what I did here is I put another one of the stickers from the same sheet that I got this one from, and then I made up a little pocket using some, well, you can't see it very well, but I used some of the same teal cardstock. I made a pocket, and then I put some, I cut up a part of a doily, a small doily, and I made a small pocket, and I put these two little tags in there. This one says "With all my love," and it says my name, and then of course the date, that is tomorrow's date, because tomorrow is when I'm going to be giving them out. And on this one I just put my memories from this 10th of May 2015, and I put like a sticky note saying you can also put some memories or some small photos in this pocket, because people are not, I think I had told you before, people are not very familiarized with scrapbooking and all that around here, so I'm trying to introduce them to it. So I just, they go in there, and then in the back I also made a pocket, and I used this piece of paper from if I'm not mistaken, it is from Colorblock, one of the books from Colorblock. I really don't know which one it is. I had already used it before, but I totally forgot which one. But it's from Colorblock, and I used it because of the birds. Mostly these are hummingbirds, of course, but well, they're birds. And you can see that I have already written my messages. This is a cutout from one of the paper lines. I just mixed and matched. I didn't put anything here. I left the cardstock as it was, and I just combined. I just put, this. I just glued the paper, and then I added part of the doily as decoration, and I just inserted the tag in there with my personal message. So this is one. And then this is a really big tag. It's like a card. So it's the size of a card. It's pretty big. Now this one, I also used the dip dyed paper, well, cardstock. And I used 2 of them. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I got to put my stamp on all of them because I didn't. Okay, this one goes from pink all the way to purple. I mean from yellow, I'm sorry, from yellow all the way to purple. And on this one you can see that I started sort of like experimenting with my texture paste and my stencils, but yeah, it was one big mess. They didn't come out very well, but well, you know, I just left them like that. The one that really did come out sort of well was this one, but it looks like a funny face, like an owl or something. I just left it like that, and you can see, I don't know if you can see that it shines a little. I was able to add some glitter before it dried, and then I spray misted here, and it's got a little bit of shine, a glitter. And then and of course, I made a pocket, a diagonal pocket, and I put this, I glued this trim, this really, really pretty trim. And I wrote my message. This is for my nephew's a wife, I'm sorry. It escaped my memory. It's for so she's my niece-in-law, and this is her first Mother's Day. So I wrote a really long message for her. I was quite inspired. Okay, sometimes I get like that, but I thought it was, you know, important for her to remember. So anyway, going back to the front of it, I put the texture, and then I glued some lace on the side. On top of the lace, I glued some cheesecloth. As you can see here, the fibers here, you can see them. It's sort of peeking out here, and over here, down here at the bottom, you can sort of see some of the fibers as well. Okay. And then I added some twine here in the middle and on the bottom. And then I just started stacking up flowers. I started with this middle one, which I made myself. And then I used these very distressed roses that I'm beginning to like a lot. These are store-bought. And all these 3 and these 3 were white, and I painted them using different things. Like on this one, I used nail polish. On this one, this yellow one, and this other yellow one, I used my sprays that are homemade, that I made myself with markers and alcohol. And these blue ones, on the blue ones, I used my inks, my ink dyes, and this is the turquoise one. I used it to paint this one and this one over here. Okay, and then I just added some leaves randomly here, there, everywhere. Some of them are already, they already came with the flowers, especially these 2. And this big one, this one, and this one at the bottom, I glued them. I just glued them there. Okay, then after I did that, I glued some long strip of pearls, and I sort of wound it around the flower arrangement. And here at the bottom where I had the twine, I had added bow made of organza ribbon in a cream color. And then after that, after I finished winding all the pearl, the small pearl embellishment, I made a bow. I just ended up with a bow at the bottom, like there, like right there. Okay, after that, I used this, I just glued a heart charm right in the middle of this heart, and then I had added this piece of chain, and I glued it, over here in the somewhere in the flower arrangement. It's not completely hidden, but it's not very visible. I mean, you can't really say, oh, here, this is where she glued it. Okay, no. And then I wanted to put a key on the top and put like the key to my heart or whatever, and I go, no, that's for Valentine's Day. So what I did was that I cut out this really small cutout stamp from one of the paper lines, and I just put with all my love on your first Mother's Day and the date. And then I forgot, you can also see that I added some tulle here and here and a little bit down here. Okay, and that's, and these roses, these I made myself as well. It's the little ones made out of ribbon. I just put 2 of them. Okay, and that's it for this tag. I think it came out pretty. And then this is the card I was talking to you about. This is just a regular card. Okay, this is just a regular card. You can see here that it bubbled up. I don't know. I just made it in a really big hurry. I started with purple cardstock, and then after the purple cardstock, I just glued this pink cardstock. And on the pink cardstock, I used a credit card and my texture paste to make this sort of like a trellis pattern or crisscross pattern. And then I glued some, I cut a doily into pieces and I glued it, forming like giving it like a sort of like a diamond shape. Sort of. And then I made a long heart, sort of like the ones that you get from those dies, the primitive hearts, that they're long, that they're not like, like the typical heart that you make. Okay, and that one I made with the rosewood paper line. I love this paper. And then I trimmed it with pearls. I trimmed around it with pearls. I put some trim on the side here, and then I added a tulle bow here on the side, and then I just put 3 small roses, and I put tulle. I put some another bow made out of pearls, and then a really tiny bow made out of this is satin. This is a satin bow, and then in the center I just put a flat back pearl, and then I just added the 3 little hearts. Then I made a banner. I made a banner out of paper, and I used a stencil to put Happy Mother's Day, and I just sort of like undulated it, and I glued it on top of the heart. I'm sorry about that. I just moved the camera. I'm behind the camera. It's a little awkward. Okay, then on the inside, I just glued here with the same paper line from Rosewood. This is just plain paper, just this color that matches this color, because I wanted to put something a little bit more pink, but then it would have that would be like in this tone of pink, but then I didn't have I couldn't find paper that I liked, so I just used the bottom part of some scrap of paper that I had, and it had this beautiful, beautiful floral arrangement made from roses, and this part was empty. Right here where I glued this, it was empty. So I said, okay, perfect. I can put a tag here, and I can put, and I can glue some of the paper that matches the color, sort of, the same color as this. It's more or less in the same shade. And I glued another tag here, and I put a sentiment here, and I put another sentiment down here. And then I had to glue this ribbon, this piece of cording here. And then I just made a small bow, and that's it. That's the card. Okay, so that's it for this share, and this is part 1, and I will see you in part 2. Thanks for watching.